The Galactic Empire's soldiers descended onto Earth with a sense of disdainful superiority. Clad in sleek, armored suits and armed with cutting-edge weaponry, they surveyed the planet with a mix of curiosity and condescension. Their technology was far beyond anything Earth had, and their mission was clear: assess the planet's potential for exploitation and eliminate any threats, which they anticipated to be laughably insignificant. Their gear gleamed under the sun, a stark contrast to the planet's natural landscape. They operated energy rifles and plasma grenades, devices designed to obliterate anything in their path with ease. The soldiers moved with precise coordination, their every step a testament to their advanced training and technology. In their eyes, Earth was a relic, its creatures no more than primitive relics of a bygone era. As they made their way through a dense forest, their sensors picked up the presence of a creature, an ordinary Wolverine, seemingly out of place amidst the high-tech invasion. To the soldiers, it was an unremarkable animal, lacking the advanced traits they had encountered in their galactic travels. The Wolverine, with its small stature and unassuming appearance, seemed like an easy target for their superior force. With an air of casual dismissal, the soldiers approached the Wolverine. They snickered and exchanged derogatory remarks about the creature's lack of technological enhancements. The Wolverine, sensing the intrusion, rose on its hind legs and growled, but its response was seen as nothing more than a token gesture of defiance. The soldiers' laughter echoed through the trees as they prepared to engage with what they considered a trivial adversary. The initial clash was brief and one-sided. The Wolverine attacked with a burst of energy, its claws swiping through the air with surprising speed. However, the soldiers, protected by their advanced armor and equipped with superior weaponry, effortlessly countered every move. They responded with non-lethal force, mocking the creature's attempts to defend itself. The Wolverine's strikes seemed almost futile against their technology. The soldiers' arrogance only grew with each failed attempt by the Wolverine. They continued to tease and taunt the creature, their confidence unshaken by its futile efforts. They viewed it as nothing more than an amusing inconvenience, a small creature that lacked the strength or sophistication to pose any real threat. The Wolverine's tenacity was evident, but it was clear that it was outmatched. Despite its fierce determination, the creature's basic combat skills did little to affect the soldiers' superior tactics. The soldiers maintained their mocking demeanor, convinced that they had easily subdued what they considered an insignificant part of their mission. The Wolverine, though resilient, was seen as nothing more than a minor annoyance, its strength and resilience dismissed as inconsequential. As the skirmish continued, the Wolverine began to show signs of its remarkable resilience. It took hits from the soldiers' energy rifles, its fur singed and scorched, yet it remained on its feet. The wounds that would have been fatal to any other creature seemed to heal before the soldiers' eyes. Though the injuries were severe, the Wolverine's ability to recover was unlike anything the soldiers had encountered. They were momentarily perplexed, but their dismissal of the Wolverine as an insignificant threat remained unchanged. The Wolverine, despite its grievous injuries, continued to press forward with relentless determination. It endured plasma burns and energy blasts, its body absorbing and recovering from the damage at an alarming rate. Each time it was struck down, it sprang back to its feet, more driven than ever. The soldiers noticed this unnerving ability but attributed it to nothing more than a strange quirk, maintaining their belief that it was merely an anomaly. The battle's intensity escalated as the soldiers decided to employ their most advanced weaponry. They unleashed powerful plasma grenades and concentrated energy blasts, expecting these to finally subdue the Wolverine. The air crackled with energy as the Wolverine was hit repeatedly by these devastating attacks. Yet, with each explosion and burst of energy, it remained in the fray, its body regenerating faster than the soldiers could inflict damage. The Wolverine's stamina and tenacity became apparent as it continued to fight back with an intensity that matched the soldiers' own aggression. The soldiers, now facing a creature that withstood their most lethal weaponry, began to reassess their initial judgment. Their confidence wavered as they realized that the Wolverine was not just an ordinary animal but something far more formidable. However, despite their growing concern, they were still skeptical, unable to fully comprehend the extent of the Wolverine's extraordinary abilities. The Wolverine's healing factor became increasingly evident as the battle raged on. wounds that would have left other creatures incapacitated or dead healed before the soldiers' eyes. Plasma burns and deep cuts vanished almost instantaneously, leaving the soldiers in disbelief. The Wolverine's fur, once scorched and torn, mended seamlessly, allowing it to return to the fray with renewed vigor. As its regenerative abilities continued to astonish, the Wolverine's physical strength and endurance began to shine through. With each passing moment, it grew more aggressive and formidable, using its enhanced strength to outmatch the soldiers. It was now capable of withstanding the brunt of their most powerful attacks, and its claws, once ineffective against their armor, began to penetrate with frightening ease. The soldiers found themselves struggling to defend against the Wolverine's fierce onslaught. The soldiers' initial confidence faltered as they confronted the reality of the Wolverine's superior capabilities. Their advanced technology, once deemed infallible, seemed inadequate against the Wolverine's relentless attacks. Their energy shields, plasma rifles, and grenades failed to suppress the creature, whose resilience and raw power were becoming increasingly overwhelming. As the Wolverine pressed its advantage, it began to drive the soldiers back. Its continuous assault, marked by both sheer strength and tactical prowess, forced the soldiers to adapt on the fly. They were no longer in control of the battle, and the Wolverine's persistent attacks began to push them into a defensive position. The soldiers, now fully aware of the Wolverine's superiority, struggled to regroup and mount a counteroffensive. Their technological edge was proving ineffective against a creature whose physical prowess and endurance far exceeded their expectations. The soldiers' panic began to mount as they faced the undeniable reality that their advanced technology was proving ineffective against the Wolverine. Their previously unshakable confidence eroded rapidly as the creature continued to withstand their most potent attacks with apparent ease. Frustration and anxiety spread among the soldiers, their once sure strategies unraveling in the face of the Wolverine's relentless assault. Internal conflicts erupted as the soldiers argued over their next course of action. Some insisted on retreating, recognizing that their current approach was futile and that their safety was at risk. Others, unable to accept defeat, argued for a revised strategy, proposing desperate measures in an attempt to regain control. The atmosphere grew tense, with heated debates and conflicting opinions causing a breakdown in their previously cohesive operations. In a bid to regain the upper hand, the soldiers resorted to deploying their most advanced weaponry and employing every tactical maneuver at their disposal. They launched concentrated energy beams and unleashed high-yield explosive devices, hoping that their intensified efforts might turn the tide. Despite their best efforts, the Wolverine adapted with remarkable agility, evading their attacks and continuing its relentless advance. As the Wolverine continued to overcome their desperate measures, the soldiers were forced to confront a stark realization. Their initial arrogance had blinded them to the true nature of Earth's creatures, and their technology, once considered invincible, was rendered impotent in the face of the Wolverine's extraordinary abilities. The soldiers' fear replaced their former confidence, and they were left grappling with the humbling truth that they had gravely underestimated both the Wolverine and the potential of Earth's inhabitants. The Wolverine's unyielding assault reached its peak as the soldiers, overwhelmed and battered, found themselves unable to sustain their position. The relentless attacks had taken a severe toll, and the advanced technology that once seemed invincible was now powerless against the Wolverine's extraordinary capabilities. Facing inevitable defeat, the soldiers had no choice but to retreat or surrender. In the chaos that ensued, the soldiers were left disoriented and in disarray. Their once proud arrogance had been dismantled by the sheer force and resilience of the Wolverine. Their technological superiority had been proven inadequate, and their confidence, once so unshakable, was shattered. They were left grappling with the reality of their defeat, their previous certainty replaced by confusion and fear. In the aftermath of their defeat, the soldiers began to reflect on the true nature of Earth's creatures. The Wolverine, initially dismissed as a trivial opponent, had revealed an unexpected depth of strength and resilience. The soldiers, now humbled, recognized that their initial perceptions had been grossly misguided. Earth's creatures, far from being insignificant, possessed hidden strengths that had been underestimated. The experience served as a profound lesson in the dangers of underestimating others based solely on appearances. The story concludes with the soldiers coming to terms with their defeat and the valuable lesson learned. The encounter with the Wolverine had not only exposed the limitations of their own technology, but also highlighted the extraordinary potential of Earth's inhabitants. Their arrogance had been their downfall, and the experience left them with a newfound respect for the hidden capabilities that lay beneath the surface of the seemingly ordinary.